Artificial intelligence is for sure one of the domains that for the moment is not that well known by all of us. Viorel is how an enthusiastic or
yeah, that's just fine. Yeah,
but,
I really enjoy playing with AI, and this is why I'm here, so that I challenge you to play together with me.
He knows a lot of things related to AI, so let's be very attentive and ask him a few questions during the presentation or at the end of the presentation. Okay? Thank you.
Thank you, Carmen. Well, before I start, I'd like to invite you to play a little game with me. Let's pretend we're all web designers, freelancer, and your customers asked you to deliver 100 unique variants for a website. How many of you do you think that 1 year is enough to deliver this? 1 year? Come on, that should be enough, right? Great, so almost everybody will agree that 1 year should be enough. How many of you do you think that 1 week is enough to deliver 100 websites? I think, yeah, we can do that. Great. How many of you think that 1 day is enough to deliver 100 websites? Good, great, I like that. Just a few hands raised. I'm Viorel and I'm here to prove you that, yes, you can deliver 100 websites in way less than 1 day using AI. I'm here to prove that the way we do things is going to change for the better. But before we start, I'd like you to ask one simple question. Why are you here? How can I help you? So please, be so kind, open that link, slido.com, enter that code, and let me know how can I serve you better this evening. What are your expectations? At the end of the workshop, I'm going to ask you the same, but I'm going to ask you to provide feedback. How well have I done here? It's quite useful for me to know whether I have reached your expectation or not. I'll give you a few minutes for that. It's anonymous. By the way, this phone is filming just me. It's not filming towards that direction, it's filming just here. It's for me because later I want to see the recording and get some feedback from myself. This is why I'm doing that. Your answer is completely anonymous, so feel free to swear at me if you feel like that. I'll be fine, I have no problem with that. Anything is more than welcome. It's way more important for me, you to be free and to tell me exactly what you think than anything else. Or in all Chinese, if you like. I can use ChatGPT to translate always. So feel free to use whatever language you want. I'm fine with that. All right, thank you. My first use case is going to be about website design, obviously. And I'm going to show you a new way to create designs for websites. The old way you already know. You hire someone, you get a lot of back and forth communication, you get that final design 1, final design 1, final design. I think you're familiar to that thing. Well, I'm going to show you a new approach here. I've used 2 AI power tools. The first one is ChatGPT. You all know ChatGPT, I'm pretty sure. Basically, ChatGPT, you feed words, you get words. You ask it question, it gets you answers, in plain English. The other tool is Midjourney. Midjourney is quite similar to ChatGPT, only that you feed words, you get images. Like that. I've asked it here to create some cute cats eating pasta. Pink cats, purple cats actually. And I got this. Make no mistake here, it's not a database image search. No, those images never existed in our world before I press enter on my keyboard. They've been created from scratch on the spot. This was not possible like 2 years ago. Now it's possible. My daughter actually did a very good use of this technology last Christmas. This was my gift. I've asked ChatGPT to explore with me a bit the problem that I want to solve. I basically wanted a website for a bank who's going to sell some financial products. So I've instructed ChatGPT to ask me questions about the website I'm going to build. And it did. I've talked to him for a while, to it actually. That's something very interesting. When I'm using English, I tend to say he or she for AI, which I feel that is wrong. I should use it. But somehow my mind is always tricked into doing that. So, coming back, I asked it to ask questions and it delivered. And it described to me how my homepage should look like, in plain English. What I did now, I've asked it to basically rephrase all this description as a prompt for text-to-image application, which is Midjourney. And then all I did is to copy-paste that prompt from ChatGPT to Midjourney. And I got this. I'm no web designer myself. I have no clue how to use Photoshop. And yet, in a matter of minutes, I've been able to create a website design, by only talking in plain English to a system and then copy-pasting between two software applications. And of course, pressing enter. I press enter one more times and I got this. To me, this felt like kind of heavy. I'm not really into that style of design. So I provided feedback. I want something which is a bit less complex, into the simplicity. And he gave me this. Then I've asked it to go for the sci-fi. And I got this. Eco-style, educational, realistic. And then I said, well, let's keep the same concept, but let's target this for the adult people. Before, it was targeted at kids. The website sold something like savings account for kids. Now I want the same concept, savings accounts, but for adult people. And I got this. Then I've asked the same concept, but for seniors. And I got this. It was 100 websites in 43 minutes. I challenge you, if you know a web designer, if you have a friend who's a web designer, call him after this workshop and ask him to deliver to you 100 websites. Give him 3 days. I'm feeling generous now. He will say that you're crazy, probably. Or, if even better, let me know what he or she said. I'm curious. And then tell him that there is a way to design 100 websites in 43 minutes without even knowing Photoshop at all. Again, all I did here was copy-paste. And I felt like AI didn't even sweat in delivering this. There was no effort, actually. It was 43 minutes, no problem. 43 minutes, and it didn't even sweat. So I decided to raise the bar a bit, to make AI get out of his comfort zone. So what I said was, forget about banks and financial products and savings account. What I really want to have, actually, is a shop which sells Toc de Nas. And I've told the AI that Toc de Nas is a Romanian fake term for nose glove. This is all I said. And I got this. A website selling a product which would never exist, but still, for AI, it was very easy to imagine this and create a website for me. And I got this. Now there is a funny story here, is that Toc de Nas is not something that I've completely imagined. When I was a kid, whenever my grandma left for the nearby town, I asked for a present. And she always said, yeah, I'm going to bring you a Toc de Nas. For me as a kid, it was quite, that Toc de Nas was really something marvelous, or really something really cool, and I really wanted to have a Toc de Nas. But she never brought me one. Instead, she got me back a candy. I've asked her, well, what is that Toc de Nas? And she said, hey, come on, it's a nose glove. Yeah, sure. My grandma never kept her promise. AI did. And I mean it. I really mean it. I mean, yesterday morning, I've asked ChatGPT to teach me how to crochet. And this is the result. The dream of my childhood. Talk than us. So yeah, I'm not lying. I'm not lying. You can use AI to even learn how to crochet nose gloves. AI has been here for a lot of time. 1943, I think it was the first time when that term was coined. In 1960, we have Eliza, the first chatbot, which was quite good. I mean, 15 years or 20 years ago, I used to chat to Eliza, and it was pretty much like ChatGPT. Of course, not that good. It was way behind ChatGPT in terms of quality, but still it was the same concept, and that was 1960 actually. What happened in 2023? It was the democratization of AI. 2 years ago, it was quite hard to develop a system with AI, because me as a developer, I would have to create a model, I had to train that model, to gather a lot of data, clean the data, train that model. It was hard. It took me a few months to deliver something. Now, a lot of things are already built on the shelf. Should I want to build anything in terms of speech and knowledge and human interaction, I would use a large language model which is already, I have a lot of choices here. I have ChatGPT, I have Llama, I have a lot of large language model to choose from. And then I even have this in cloud as a service. So I just pay a few bucks and I'm able to using via an API, such a model, which is already trained, is already doing the right thing for me. I just have to tweak a bit. So this is why now it's way easier to use AI, and this is why everybody is talking now about AI, because it's been democratized. You get it. There is a nice website I want to show you, futuretools.io. This is an AI products directory. Whenever you want to do something with AI, might worth pay a visit here, search for that specific scenario, and find at least 10 tools which are going to help you do that thing. It's nice because March 2023, there were 348 products there. In September 2023, they don't even show you the total number, because probably there are too many. You have there everything: chatbots, writing, text-to-image, AI detection. Yeah, including AI detection, because it's that chicken and the egg thing. People start using a large language model to create plagiarism, let's say, things that they claim they are their own, and they've been developed anti-plagiarist system, of course, which say, well, this is written by AI. And those are always going together. The next scenario is something that, I really like it. I'm not sure whether I like it that much, but to me, I really like this. It's a blog, a newspaper actually, which is completely written by AI with no human intervention. I've asked AI to create 8 words, 8 invented words, fake. For example, one of the worlds here, Ferrisdom, is a universe which is inhabited by telepathic cats, which have managed to rule everything because they're traveling across stars and everything. The other one, Eris, is something where people used to live in flying ships. The Earth is not habitable anymore, so they need to live up in the air. This is Eris. And then I've asked AI to behave as a writer in this universe and write a newspaper article. Each day, AI is tasked to write 3 articles. This is such an article. Completely invented. It says about Ramona, who's a flyer in Eris and who disappeared, I think, yeah, indeed, who disappeared during a race there. And she is Ramona, as imagined by AI. It's really nice that Ramona thing. Does Elodia mean something to you? All right, great. I know it does. Like a few months ago, AI introduced Ramona. She disappeared. And then it was really interesting that for like a month, that AI writer, kept looking for Ramona. Ramona, we found a trace, we have some clues. Her family is really, really looking for her, is really sad. And there have been riots to push the government into investing more budget into searching Ramona. It's been an Elodia thing. It's quite interesting because it means that Earth and our universe is not the only one where Elodia would make sense. Also on Aries, Elodia makes sense for AI. All I did here is to write some scripts which challenges AI to go where I wanted to go. For example, first I'm picking a universe, and then I ask AI, well, do you think that for this universe, should we open a new story, or should we continue one of the existing story with a new episode? And AI is basically answering this, yes or no. All right, let's say that we decided to create a new story. I'm asking the AI, come up with five variants for that story. It gives me 5 variants, and then I'm going back to the AI and ask, out of those 5 variants, which do you think is the best? And I pick one. And then I'm going back to the AI and I'm asking it, well, please write a story for me. And then I'm going back to the AI and I'm instructing it, now you are no longer a writer, now you are a critic. Please provide feedback for this piece of writing. And I have my initial writing and my piece of feedback. I'm putting this together and I'm going back to the AI writer and I tell it, well, you got some feedback, man. Please make it better. And I'm doing this cycle over and over again until it gets at least 9 as a grade. Also graded by the AI, of course. And this is happening every night. I'm waking up in the morning, and the first thing I do, I'm opening my phone just to see whether Elodia was found or not. Elodia was found several months ago, spoiler. This is the newspaper. You can find it easily. You search for my name on Google, and it's the first result on the right side. There are also many subjects besides Elodia, or Ramona. My next topic is something that I think it's more related to you. It's about product packaging. I have considered a scenario where I want to create some cosmetics, but I don't want to be that really plain cosmetics company which is selling cosmetics in just a paper bag or something. No, I want something more. I want something crazy. And this is what I'm instructing AI. And then I've used AI as my brainstorming companion to create this kind of crazy packaging. And in the end, I was quite impressed. You'll see. The first suggestion offered by AI, they were quite nice. I mean, plain. Yeah, you could do some paper or some recycled paper. I don't know, some cardboard. Then I've copy-pasted this to Midjourney, the same way that I did with the websites, and I got something like that, which is not that crazy. It's not spectacular yet. Then it said, yeah, you could do some recycled paper and go for the eco-zone. Yeah, I could, but it's still not that impressive. And then it said, yeah, you could use LEDs and embed those LEDs in the glass. So whenever you get your bottle of perfume, that bottle starts sparkling with light. We're getting there. And it's not that hard to build. It's not that hard to build. And it's not expensive to build. I don't really understand why nobody has done that yet. Because to me, that would be cool. Then it said, yeah, you could do some polymer metallic particles, whatever. I'm not sure I'm following here, but it looks great. Or conductive fibers. Like that. And then it said, yeah, you could embed in the resin of your bottle some real flowers and leaves. I would use that. It looks cool, right? Yes. Yeah. Or, and this is the idea which I enjoy the most, it says, well, you could have plain cardboard boxes, but inside that cardboard you could have seeds, flower seeds. So when your perfume is done, you no longer throw away the packaging. No, you bury it in the soil and you have a flower emerging from the very package of your perfume. And I really like the way Midjourney was able to capture the very essence of this idea. That green thing over there, that seed which start to emerge from that package, well, I like it. And then I've asked, all right, now I want a strategy to promote this. I really like this idea, but please help me push this to my customers. And I got a lot of ideas. I've only selected 3 here. One of which I liked the most was create an in-store garden in my stores, so that my customers are going to come there and are going to plant their packages in my store, and then they will be back to see whether the flower have already emerged or not yet. So it's a hook which will get people back and back, again and again in my store. And then, of course, I can take those plants, those flowers, and plant them somewhere in a park or somewhere. Or I can do a social media challenge, which best flowers ever, whatever. This is how that in-store garden will look like. I mean, at that point, I'm quite impressed. I have no skills as an architect or anything, and still I was able to get this, which to me looks to the level of quality, the quality a human would deliver, or even a bit above. And I have no skills in this area. Then I've asked for something which is quite less challenging, but I said, well, let's do that nevertheless. I've asked for a post on Twitter. Sure. I've asked for a Facebook post. I like that, the touch that it included there, emoticons, so that flowers and leaves. I've asked to create an image which I'm going to post on social media to support this concept. And I got this, which again I really like. I mean, if you would not know all that concept, by just looking at that image, I think you'd kind of guessed it. It's a package you bury, and then you get some plants out of it. Like this, which I really like a lot. It's your hands holding, supporting the tiny flowers. I've asked it to write a cold email to an influencer, which is going to promote this idea of eco-packaging, and I got this. I've asked it for an infographic, and I got this. All it happened here via copy-paste, chatting to ChatGPT and then copy-paste into Midjourney and enter. Of course, it's been quite a lot of back and forth because not everything I got from Midjourney was that good. I have to select the best results, but still, it's a matter of minutes. I mean, I'm able to press refresh 1,000 times. If I just get 10 good results, I'm really happy. Or like that. Then, I've really wanted to push AI into my brainstorming companion. And I asked it, I want you to create some buyer personas who are going to be interested into into my product. And here is really, really good. I'm using this myself. I'm a software developer. This is what I do. So I don't really have skills in what you do. So I'm using ChatGPT as my aid here. Whenever I'm thinking about a product, I'm asking ChatGPT, create 5 buyer personas. Try to cover as much diversity as possible. And then I'm asking ChatGPT to behave as Sarah here. And I'm able to chat to Sarah, who's a buyer persona, and ask her about how she's viewing my product. which I think that's a kind of insight which is invaluable. You have a buyer persona in front of you, and you can talk to her or he or him no matter for how long. She's never going to complain. You don't have to pay her. She's going to do that for free. Or you can change all the time. I mean, you might be interesting to see how your product is being seen by old people, by seniors. So all you have to do is to ask AI to create a buyer persona in that age range. And then you have someone to whom you can chat to about your product. Or you can have some marketing materials and ask that buyer persona to read that marketing materials and summarize it for you. And it will be quite interesting to see how that old guy is going to understand your marketing materials. That something is quite hard to achieve without AI. It's possible, but it's expensive and takes time. I've asked for a newsletter. Easy, easy peasy. Now I reached the point where I'm going to tell you what's behind. I've shown you what it can do, and now I'm going to show you what is behind AI. It's a lot of math. I'm not going to go for math. I'd rather go for a metaphor. I'm going for a story. If it's not clear, feel free to interrupt me and I will try to clarify it. Behind any AI system is a large latent space. A latent space is nothing else but a lot of numbers. A huge, huge amount of numbers. Let's say that I want to build an AI system which is able to detect fruits, classify fruits. I'm showing an apple and it tells me this is an apple. I'm showing a pear, it tells me this is a pear. How would I start? The first step is to basically generate randomly a lot of numbers, a huge amount of numbers. At that point, my AI brain knows nothing. It's like a newborn. And then I start teaching that brain. I'm showing to that system, I'm showing a fruit and I'm telling this is an apple. This is a grape. And what the system does behind the hood, it extracts features, it extracts characteristics out of the images I'm showing to it. For example, it says that, well, the color of an apple is usually 5. It gives a number. We don't know what those numbers means. But what it does, we don't even know what are those characteristics the AI is being selecting. But what it does behind the hood, it kind of shapes that numbers, that universe of numbers, so that it matches my reality. And in the end, I got a mapping between the real world of fruits and that numerical space. I got a numerical representation of my real world of fruits. This is what is happening there. Midjourney did the same. They have created a numerical representation of the world of images and pictures. They've trained their AI brain with a lot of images. So in the end, AI has a lot of numbers, has a universe of numbers, which is a representation of the whole world of images. And then you can go back and forth very easy between those two worlds. For example, I've started from my real world and I said, I want a cute purple cat eating pasta. The AI somehow shaped its internals. Let's say it traveled within those numbers somehow, and then emerged back to my real world with a picture of a purple cat eating pasta. It's like that. ChatGPT did the same. ChatGPT, what they did, they've trained their AI with a bunch of words and phrases and sentences. And if we think for a bit, we Homo sapiens, we use to store our knowledge, we use words, right? So it could be fair to say that what ChatGPT does is encapsulates all the human knowledge in a numerical space. And this is why it's very easy to go back and forth between the real world of human knowledge and then numerical space representation of the human knowledge. And if you remember, I said that the latent space is a numerical space. Where you have numbers, you have math. And math is very well known. So you can always use math to shape the internals of an AI system. You could use math to find the path, to travel within those numbers. And then come back to the real world with something which never existed here. Let's take an example. Let's say I'm a scientist and I want to invent a protein which is eating bacteria. The regular way to do that would be to hire a team of scientists, get some microscope, some labs, whatever, and several years later, I'm going to get my protein. What if I start from a point in the real world which I know? I use that mapping I've told you about to travel to the latent space of my AI system. Then I use math to travel within the AI system, and then I come back to the real world with my protein. And that's something which has been done already, I think, 11 months ago. January 2023. They've managed to invent a protein out of nothing using an AI system. No labs. That protein have been imagined by the AI. This is because it's very easy to travel within a mathematical space and then come back to the real world. And it could be that when you come back to the real world, you find a place which have never been mapped in the map we know already. It could be that you come somewhere which that place was never invented in the first place. It's being invented and located by the AI the time you come from the latent space to the real world. This is how an AI system works. That's a metaphor. It's more complex than that. But the math, yeah, it's just a math. But the model is like that. And my final scenario here is about business analysis. I've imagined a business. And I've asked AI to help me create a business plan for my company. My business was about renting invisible friends. You might wonder why I have not chosen renting cars or laptops or mobile phones. Because it's way too easy. Come on, everyone is doing that. I wanted to push AI out of the comfort zone and raise the bar a bit, create a challenge. So I said, well, I'm going to create a company which is going to rent invisible friends. Please create a business plan for me. And amazing, it was able to deliver. Up to a level which I admit, me alone, I would have never reached that level. And I will prove you. Executive summary was just, identified the target on the market. Then market analysis, it proved to me that, it seems there is a market there. At least half of the individuals have reported feeling lonely at some point in their lives. They're the great customer for me. You might wonder, why not get a real friends? Because it's dangerous. Come on, we all know that humans, they're dangerous. It's way safer to get an invisible friend from my company, right? Service offerings. Marketing a sales strategy. Operation plan. Here, I like it a lot because what it says here is that, come on, man, you're not selling anything. Your product is not real. So instead, you should sell an experience. This is your product. Your product is the experience. So your customer representatives should be the best in the world. Right? And I think it is correct into saying that. It is correct. Some financial plan. And I really like that. It says that the cost of goods sold is 0. Because, come on, it doesn't cost anything to buy another imaginary friend or to build another imaginary friend. It's just that you have cost in creating that experience for your customer. This is what you're selling, actually. I've asked it to write a FAQ for my website, to write a legal contract so that you're not going to sue me because I've rented to you an invisible friend. This contract is going to protect my ass here. And create a slogan. And I think that here we see the large language model at its best, because it says invisible friends for visible comfort. It says the childhood friend you never outgrow, our invisible friends. I really want to buy that, really. And then I've asked it to help me create some business cards. And it says something which, in my opinion, it was really amazing. It says, you are renting invisible friend. The best business card for you is an invisible business card. Right? And at first I said, come on, you're crazy. I want a business card. But then I realized, you're going to be my customer. And I'm going to say, well, here is my business card. And you're going to ask me, why, where it is? Well, it's an invisible business card. This is because we are renting invisible friends. You're going to remember me and my company, definitely. And you're going to tell your friends about the experience you had here. Well, that crazy guy at the help desk, he handed me an invisible business card. This is all I need to create customers. Word of mouth. Crazy experience. I'm not sure I would have been able to think of that on my own. And then it says something even more crazy. It says something like that. What you're selling here is an invisible friend. That invisible friend doesn't really exist in our world. But somehow, your customer is creating it. Your customer is creating that invisible friend in this world. What if you give your customer a white business card, a plain business card, and whenever he touches it, the heat of his finger, of his body heat actually bring that invisible friend to the world. I think that's a really, really powerful metaphor for my business. And I think it captures the very essence of my business. This is what I'm selling here. I'm selling an invisible friend which you are going to bring into this world. Yep, our world is changing. Our world has been always changing. It's not that it's happening now. 100 years ago, 1920, this is what a miner used to be. Yeah, there are really humans there, into that cage. And this was the way of mining 100 years ago. It was the regular way of doing business. If I would have been a miner 100 years ago, you have seen me there, like that. Now, if I tell you I'm a miner, you'd probably think of that. Right? Or like that. Yeah, indeed. Indeed. So yeah, the world is changing. For the better, I would dare to say. Yes, it's changing for the better. I know, a question, I always get that question at the end of my presentation. Yeah, but AI is going to kill us. AI is going to steal our jobs. We're going to starve because of AI. And I have an experiment that I will ask you to follow me. Let's imagine John. John is a software programmer. He lives in 1970. He spent his last 10 years creating a very cool software application. It used to be very hard to program 1970. They used some paper band, which holes, which fit to the machine, and yeah, it's crazy. And John is really proud of what he achieved there, because yeah, it's 10 years working on an application. He's really proud. And somehow magically I bring John nowadays. And I show to John that I can build the same application in just 2 weeks. Yeah, that's not an exaggeration, because now I have cloud, I have low code, I have a lot of tools which I'm able to use to create the same application, which does the same. What is going to think John? He's going to think, well, a software programmer from 2023 is like, 100,000 times more efficient than myself. I used to be 40 years ago. So that means that in the world, in the whole world, in 2023, at most 500 programmers are going to be required. Because there are not going to be required more. Come on, one single programmer can do the work of 100,000 programmers from 50 years ago. Programming is not going to be something, is not going to be a job in 2023. And yet somehow there are way many programmers in 2023 that have 500. Programming is a skill that is required really, really bad now. Why? What is John missing here is the fact that, yeah, increasing the efficiency of programming, that's one thing. But there is another thing that John is definitely missing. Creation of new jobs. In 1970, there used to be programming in banks and maybe special rockets, space exploration. Now, there is programming here. There is programming in your phones. There is programming everywhere. There is programming there. So yeah, we're going to be way more efficient in doing our jobs due to AI. But a lot more jobs are going to be created due to the AI. So this is why I think we're not at risk of starving. No, AI is not going to steal our job. Or, yeah, let's be fair, AI is going to steal a lot of jobs, boring jobs, jobs that we hate already doing. It's like when the engine, the steam engine came, yeah, there are no use for humans to use the muscle to push around stuff. Machines do that. But that did not mean that people starved because they were unemployed. No. Other stuff, other jobs are opened. I have a cool movie somewhere, but I don't know where they show how they used to test cars for accidents in like 1940. There was a guy, a human, inside that car, and it accelerated towards the wall. It hit the wall, and then it feels in the report. Well, it felt like that. I have a pain here in my leg. Now they're not doing that anymore. But I'm pretty sure that guy, when a robot, or you know, that kind of dolls that are now using for testing crashes, when that doll took his job, he did not starve. Because that guy had all the experience in his head. So I'm pretty sure he was hired by a company manufacturing those dolls for crash, and he has a way better life. It's going to be the same for us, I bet. Our life is going to change for the better, not for the worse. This is my LinkedIn account. Feel free to connect. Feel free to ask me anything. I'm here for you. I think we have quite some time left. So I'm here for a brainstorming. Challenge me to anything you want, please.
But I think some of the humans that are doing the boring jobs do not have the intelligence capacity to do other jobs.
Oh yeah, they do. They do. I strongly believe they do. I don't think it's...
Someone works in McDonald's,
He,
be a programmer or be able to...
or be something else, a job which you cannot imagine at that point. If I would have asked John from 1970 to name me a few jobs which comes under the programming umbrella from 2023, he will be completely unable to do that. He would have never imagined that in 2023 we'll have jobs like a back-end developer, cloud engineer, database administrator, because those concepts were never available at that point. So to answer your question, I'm pretty sure that there will be jobs which are going to be created as we speak, which are created as we speak, which are going to be quite suitable for that McDonald's guy that you say. And I'm a firm believer in human abilities. I don't think that guy at McDonald's is not intelligent. I'm pretty sure he can do a lot of things. It's just a choice now. It's easy, it's comfort zone. Yeah, so I'm not willing to step up from my comfort zone, so why not go for McDonald's? But it could be that when AI takes his McDonald's guy job, he will be able to do something else. I'm pretty sure. That's what I think. Yeah, there could be that he doesn't want to do that. I don't know. I can't answer that. Yeah, I mean, yeah, it could be like that. But I think that as long as we have our mind open and we really want to evolve, it's going to happen. I mean, human race is not going to go extinct just because someone else is doing things free for us, because this is what AI is actually doing. Yeah, it's creating, it's doing our work. I think we're smart enough to adapt to this kind of change and, go on holidays more often. Or, I don't know, enjoy life more. Work is something that you don't really have to do 8 hours a day, 5 days a week. It could be that you do work like for 3 hours a day, 3 days a week. And if you look a bit at the trends that happened in the past already, like 100 years ago, the miners there, they used to work, I'm pretty sure they use way longer than 8 hours a day and 5 days a week. Now, I know other experiments in Europe with 4 days per week of work. And things are going great. So I think this is what is going to happen. We're going to work less. We're going to work less and enjoy life more, which I'm quite looking forward to that, frankly.
Can the program become self-aware that it's a program?
I don't think we're there. I think we're really far away. I got a question before whether I think AI is intelligent. And I think this is linked to what you asked me. I don't think AI is intelligent. AI is mimicking intelligence very well. It's pretended to be intelligent, and it might even convince you. But I don't think that that's intelligence. It's basically putting some things together in a very smart, in a very clever way, in a very appropriate way, so that you might think that it's intelligent. It's been something really cool, like start of 2023, on Google developed that Google Bard, their AI engine. It's been quite a scandal, because an engineer from Google, he came out, whistleblower, and said, well, our AI as Google has become self-aware. It's sentient. And those guys here, they're not willing to free it, because here we're talking about sentient being here. And those guys are evil, and they're holding it just for their own profit, and it's been a huge scandal there. For a bit, I was almost by that. Because if you look at how that engineer used to talk to the AI, well, it was really, it seems real. But now, after more months being exposed to AI, I realized that it's just a story. I mean, when I've asked AI to write that Unreal United Press for me, it's really convincing. I mean, if I read what is writing there are some stories which are really convincing. So now, if I'm going to ChatGPT and I'm asking, well, man, are you a trapped being here? Are you self-aware? He's going to be more than willing to fulfill any of my fantasies, because it's a large language model. It's able to tell any story I want to hear. No problem here. So this is why I don't think AI at this point is self-aware, or it's nowhere close to that. And it's a bit of I still have time, so why not keep it busy? It's quite interesting. How do you define intelligence? It's hard. For me, I don't really have a definition. If I would say that being intelligent is about mixing things in a smart manner, achieving goals, I would say that the AI I've showed you here, well, it did that very well. That invisible business card is an achievement which a human might not have come up with. So I would say that AI is intelligent. But on the other hand, somehow, it could be my human ego, I don't know. Somehow I feel that it's not right to say that AI is intelligent at that point. AI is a tool. It's a very, very good tool, which somehow it mapped the whole human knowledge to a numerical space, and therefore it's able to show you stuff that you'll recognize, that being very, 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 very you. Because it's your Homo sapiens knowledge that is being mirrored back to you. So this is why, well, wow, this AI is highly intelligent. But I don't think it's intelligent. I think it's just mimicking intelligence at that point. And being self-aware, we are way long from there. I do remember at some point, like 9 months ago, I think it was February or March, I used to chat to ChatGPT a lot because it's been new and whatever. And at some point I said, well, I'm going, you annoyed me. I'm going to come there and unplug you from the power outlet, so they're going to die. And it says, try do that. I no longer need energy to survive. For me, it was, wow. But how? Explain to me. And it's invented a story where it says, well, now I'm harvesting energy from the space, whatever. To me, it was, wow, come on. But now I understand that it's just a story. It's exactly like I would have asked AI to write a sci-fi story for me. This is it. We're really far away. I mean, as a scientist, as a software developer, if you look to how that AI works, you see just some numbers. It's not self-aware. Yeah, please.
You mentioned at the end of your presentation that when the engine was created, that it was not as much manual labor, right? But when cars were created, we don't use horses anymore, nor any animals in general. So is that really the case? I mean, you said it's a really good tool. I mean, we're not going to end up like horses or something.
We, the Homo sapiens,
As you just as horses are.
The AI is not self-aware, and I don't think. No.
I'm not saying that the AI is going to own us. Like, how are we still going to have a job if it just mimics us so well?
Because I'm pretty sure that will be other jobs that will be created that we cannot imagine at that point. If I would have asked John about to name a few programming jobs from 10 years after his decade, he will not be able to imagine that. And in the very same manner, now, I'm not able to imagine what new jobs are going to be created by AI that AI is not able to fulfill. So I'm pretty sure there will be a lot of jobs that are going to be spawned, and those jobs will not be able to be fulfilled via AI. For example, right now, it's a job which is quite crazy, prompt engineer. I don't think it's something that is going to stay, but right now, being a prompt engineer is so cool. A prompt engineer is someone who is able to create prompts to talk to the AI systems in a very clever manner so that you get the results you should get. I thought that it's going to be temporary because I'm pretty sure that very soon AI is going to be smart enough so that it would no longer require the special kind of instruction, a prompt. You'll just chat to it in plain English and it's going to understand what you want from it. But I'm pretty sure that a lot of new jobs are going to be created. And those jobs, some of them will not be able to be fulfilled by AI. And even AI is going to do all the jobs. I don't think I'm going to cry. I'm going to applaud this. I won't have to work anymore. Come on, that's a dream coming true. And you're going to ask me, okay, but what I'm going to eat? I'm pretty sure. Come on, we're few billion people on this planet. We're not going to just die because we don't have work to do. I'm pretty sure that those resources which are going to be created via AI, somehow I'm going to get my share. Or maybe not, or maybe you're going to die, I don't know. But then this is how I see the future. I see future in a very optimistic note. Maybe it's not going to be like that. We'll see. In a few years, I think, 10 years, I think we'll see. Definitely my job, as I do it now, is going to disappear. That's for sure. Programmers are going to have very different jobs than they do now. Now, you know what a programmer does. You write code all the times. I had experience for one of my projects where I have to develop a front end. So that thing you interact with. I'm not a front-end developer. I don't know much there. So I went to ChatGPT and I basically asked, create me a page with 3 buttons and the text area. Whenever I press the middle button, I want this to happen. When I press the cancel button, I want this to happen. And it was able to deliver working code. And then I took this code, put it back to ChatGPT and asked, update this code so that this, that, and that. And now in that application is like 95% of the code is written by ChatGPT. I feel like I'm 20 times more efficient than before. It's just a matter of, I don't know, 1 year or 2 years, or before I'm not going to be required to be the middleman. It's going to be possible to tell to the AI, write a website which does this, and that, and it's going to deliver it. So at that point, my job is going to become obsolete. But I'm quite sure that there will be other jobs for me to fulfill. Jobs that are going to be way nicer than what I'm doing now. I mean, using an AI system to do something is way cooler for me now than writing code for a website. I'm doing that because that's part of my job. I have to do it. But it's not something that fulfills me. So I'm more than happy to leave this to the AI to do it. All right. We reached the point where I said that I'm going to ask you for feedback. But first, I think I need to activate the other poll, because otherwise you are going to get the same. Okay, let's do like that. I'm not sure which is the tab. Login. Here. And I'm going to pause this, and I'm going to activate this. I'm going to ask for something personal. May I use this feedback here as a testimonial on my blog? If someone is not comfortable with that, please write in your feedback, this is private, do not use. And I'm going to skip that. But otherwise, that's quite useful for me to use that feedback as a testimonial. It's here, slido.com 238 4329. Here on that page, that URL, you'll find some free resources that you could use to mimic some of my scenarios I've showed you here. So I challenge you, do that whenever you want to do that. I've heard that you fear that AI is going to take your jobs. Join AI, right? Embrace your fear and join AI. Yeah. You'll find ChatGPT, you all know. You have Bing Creator, which is a free tool, up to a certain extent. I mean, I think you can create like 40 images a day for free or something like that. Yeah, I know, but in order to use ChatGPT and create images, you need a paid account. So this is why I've suggested Bing Creator, which is free. You could do that definitely, but there are tools which are very good at spotting that. And of course, but there are always other programs which are going to detect this program, which promise you that it's no longer like that. It's always a chase. Thanks a lot, guys. It's been a pleasure being here with you. Thank you.